Hey guys, this is the Stupendous Wave here at the podcast today, and this one I'm joined by some really amazing people. We have Hagala, Magix Joker, we have Darth, we have Shawn, we have Jurassic World, we have Mike G, and we have Wesley. So we have just a couple questions here to answer today. A little more of a fun podcast than our last one. We have, if there was one question you could ask Colin about Jurassic World, and he had to answer it for you, what would you ask? Um, Hold on one second. Which characters do we think will die? And if we could pick any dinosaur to be in the film, what would we choose? Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and go first, and we're all gonna just share our thoughts all together on them. So, number one, if I could ask any question to Colin, what would it be? Well, we already pretty much know that the Indominus Rex will be fighting the T-Rex, so I would ask him if the T-Rex will die. As you guys, or some of you guys probably saw in my last podcast, I nearly cried when describing the death of the T-Rex, so I would really just want to kind of make myself feel a little bit better having the answer to it because I would really not want to see her go because I love her. I'm not going to go into too much detail like I did last time. I just really love the female Rex, and that's the question I would ask him. I would ask, will the female Rex die? As far as which characters will die, I think putting the leaked information aside, which I will be doing a video on if it's not up before this podcast, Henry Wu, I think, is going to die. Vincent D'Onofrio's characters, I think, is going to die. And that's Hamada, and that's about all I have so far. I will be doing a larger video in the future about it. If I could pick any dinosaur to be in the film, which dinosaur would I pick? I would definitely pick the Carnotaurus, one of my favorite dinosaurs, and I would really want to see that dinosaur make an appearance in the Jurassic Park franchise. As we know, the Indominus Rex took a lot of traits from the Carnotaurus from the Lost World novel, so I think it would just be really cool to see the Carnotaurus, the actual Carnotaurus, in a film again. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. So now we're going to go to Darth. Darth, you want to share your thoughts on these questions?
Yeah, if I had a question to ask Colin, I would probably ask him, how, the other dinosaurs, if they're going to play a bigger role in the film. The trailer makes it seem like the Indominus Rex is going to play, the top leading role as, the main dinosaur. I'd probably ask him if there's, going to be the Suchomimus, if he'll be, the next big character, I guess. So that's probably the question I would ask him. So I got any dinosaur in the film. I would probably go with the Dilophosaurus. I don't think, has that been confirmed for the film yet?
Well, it's in the Lego sets, and we have toys of it, so it's very, very likely that it will be.
Yeah, so if it's not in the film, that's what I would pick for it to be in the film. And what characters will die? Probably Dr. Wu, I would assume, but other than that, I can't really think of any other characters that would die in the film. So, yeah.
Awesome thoughts, man. Magix Joker, who do you think will, or just share your thoughts, sorry.
If I had a question to ask Mr. Colin, I would ask him, will we see a sort of the mosasaur scene, a Jaws sort of scene, the mosasaur when the build up, the person is swimming and the mosasaur doing the Jaws thing. If I have to have any dinosaur in the film, it would be the Allosaurus, because the Allosaurus was the wolf of the Jurassic, and I would love to see him in the film, maybe in future films to come. Which characters do I think will die in the film? To be honest, I'm going to say one of the kids may die, but you wouldn't see it on the screen, maybe at the end of the film with his body on the floor. And Dr. Wu, I can't really say who else because I don't no, that's my thoughts.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlie. Shawn, what do you think?
Well, if I had one question for Colin, it would have to be that before he signed on to do Jurassic World, if he kept up with the way Jurassic Park was going after the third movie, through the leaked old scripts and all the development problems that they had, if he knew any of that before he signed on, if he was weary about what the studio wanted or what he had an image for the movie to be, I'd like to definitely sit down and talk to him about what he wanted to do and what they wanted to do beforehand, if that had any influence going into this movie. What dinosaur would I want in the film? It would have to be the Bambi Raptor. It's pretty much a non-known dinosaur from Jurassic World fans. It's kind of like a raptor. It's a small dinosaur. It's about 1 meter in length. I'd like to see it running through the bushes, just like the compies in The Lost World. That guy, he was arrogant with them and shocked them. How they would just kind of look like a quick-moving bird running around and then come at you with that raptor-sized claw on its toe. Also, what characters do I think would die in the film? I'm definitely going to go Henry Wu, like the rest of you guys said. I just think his arrogance and playing God is definitely going to catch up with him because of the camouflage from the cuttlefish DNA and the Irex. I think that's definitely going to come back to bite him. And also, Vincent D'Onofrio, I think he's going to die in the film. Other than that, Mizrahi, I think he'll die. I think he probably gets scooped up by Pteranodon or something. But I think that's all I got for that one.
Yeah, I love how you said it will come back to bite him, because it probably literally will. So, Mike, what do you think?
For me, I have to ask Colin. Is that his name, right? Is it Colin?
Yeah, Colin.
Okay. I would ask him if there is any big surprise that he's not even showing. Like, it's not any leaked scripts. Is there like a big surprise, like, let's say a Spinosaurus randomly just Watson in and getting into a triple threat fight? That would be cool. I would love to ask him if there is any sort of like big surprise that'll make us stand up. The dinosaur I would have to go stupendous. I want the Carnotaurus, and here's why, is because a lot of people would choose large dinosaurs per se. Most people would. And the thing is that it doesn't have to be big. I think a Carnotaurus can still be a very threatening dinosaur at this size because, it could get into more places, and it's made to kill people like the Indominus. So, yeah, that's why I would choose the Carnotaurus, and plus it's one of my favorite dinosaurs. Who do I think will die? I think Dr. Wu. And is he the owner of the park, by the way?
No, Wu is a genetic scientist. Maserani owns the park.
Okay. I think Maserani might die because I think it'd be a little interesting twist if they kind of kill the person who owned the park, like the guy who wore white in the first film. I apologize if I forgot his name. And I think Wu will die because, get little like, I made a mistake and all that jazz. So that's what I think's going to happen with death.
Are you talking about the guy that owned the park, Hammond?
Yeah, him.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. Good thoughts, man. So Jurassic World, what do you think?
All right, for the question I'd asked Colin, it would be, what will happen to Isla Nublar after Jurassic World? Will they bomb it, or will it just still be there as with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World still, the remnants still being there? And then as for dinosaurs I would want in the film, I have a couple. I have Styracosaurus, which I'm surprised they haven't added yet. Dimetrodon, even though that's not a dinosaur, but it'd be pretty cool to see. I like Dimetrodon a lot. And Therizinosaurus. I just think those long claws and just the size and bulk of it, it's really, really a scary type of dinosaur, and it'd be really cool in a film. And then for the final question, who I think will die, I'm pretty sure that Dr. Wu will end up dying in the end, and maybe Masrani as well, since he's the owner of the park. And I guess he and Bryce Dallas Howard, I think, they decided to create the Indominus. So if he ends up getting killed by the Indominus, that would kind of make sense. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on those questions.
Awesome. Wesley, what do you think?
There's actually a few questions I would ask him. I would ask him what he thought happened to the people on the boat from the third movie. When they were parasailing or whatever. And I would also ask him what we were just talking about earlier. I want to know what inspired him to want to take on, Jurassic Park franchise. Because I'm curious about what his thoughts were, if he already had a motive, if he said, I know exactly how I want this to be, or if he, and what other directions he was going to take. And also I would thank him for taking it on, because you don't know how long anybody's been waiting for this. People are just saying, they want to thank him themselves, because this would have probably never got caught on. Nobody else would have took on this project, and it probably would have been like a few more years, and somebody else would have finally brought the franchise back up from the dead. And what dinosaur I would want? There's a dinosaur, I don't know his name. He's got a long neck, and he is a marine type of dinosaur, and he kind of looks like that mythical creature. I don't know what it is.
Are you talking about
like a
plesiosaur?
Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna be in there. I don't know if that's confirmed, but I'm not really dinosaur savvy except for the basics. So, but I kind of want to see him. I want to see what they would do with him, and in the ferry. I want to see if something happens with him in the ferry, if he is in there, or because I think that Mosasaur is supposed to play a part with the ferry. But I think it'd be cool to see him, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. And last but not least, Haza, what do you think?
Okay, the question I would ask Colin would be the same as what Stupenda said. Will the T-Rex die? I really want to know if there's an emotional ending to the fight between the T-Rex and the Indominus. Will give a more sad and serious tone to the ending of the movie. Also, the quote, what dinosaur would I have in the film? I'd probably pick Carcharodontosaurus. It's equal with Spinosaurus is my favorite dinosaur. It's a big, super athletic carnivore, and its appearance would just be amazing. And I'd like to see it in a film. As to characters dying, I definitely think Hoskins will die, Dr. Wu will die, some park workers, Hamada will die, Masrani will die. I'm also kind of implied to think that maybe a main character might die, like maybe even Owen might die, or Claire. I don't think anyone's really safe. Maybe the kids might die, but that's a bit too much, maybe. I think they might mirror the deaths in this movie as sort of like what happens in the books. So we might see similar deaths from the books in this movie. And yeah, that's my opinion on those 3 questions. And just before I leave it back to you, I just thought of another question. I thought, what actor would you have in Jurassic World? If you could pick an actor to appear in Jurassic World, who would you have?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can go around and ask that question. Well, for me, it's kind of silly, but Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor, so I'd pick him. But more realistically, I know Godzilla already did it, but I think Bryan Cranston would be great, because Bryan Cranston really is an amazing actor. I also think that there's a whole lot of people that I would absolutely love to be in it. Samuel L. Jackson, although I know he did die, if he hadn't been in the first film and if he hadn't died in the first film, I would have picked him. He's one of my favorite actors. But Bryan Cranston is probably the most realistic one. I'd also love to see Michael C. Hall. He's one of my favorite actors of all time and one of my favorite shows of all time. and I think that he would be brilliant, and I would totally buy him as a park worker. But I know he doesn't really take on projects like that. But Michael C. Hall and Bryan Cranston, I know it's funny because they're both from big TV shows, but those are the two that I would pick because those are two of a little bit more affordable actors as compared to Samuel L. Jackson and Leonardo DiCaprio, but they're still really well known, and those are just the ones that I would pick. What do you think, Darth?
I was jokingly going to say Johnny Depp, but probably I would pick somebody. I know this is like a huge actor, but I would probably pick somebody like Chris Evans or somebody, like maybe as like a security worker or something, like a main security guard or something. I don't really know. Like maybe he works with like some of the Raptors as well. I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, like Chris Pratt would have been my top pick, but he's already in the movie. So, but yeah, I'd probably go with like Chris Evans or somebody.
Cool. Magix Joker.
Well, I'll pick quite a few actors because there's really good actors in the world. But if he was still alive today, it'll be Heath Ledger for me. He's such a good actor, and I'll choose Heath Ledger as like the main role in Jurassic World because he can play two different types of. Being a good guy, he can play a villain, like an anti-hero. Yeah, that's who I'd choose, Heath Ledger.
Awesome. Shawn?
This might sound corny, but Liam Neeson. It seems everything that he's in recently is just action-packed and good. I could see him being a guest in the park and taking it upon himself to help everybody escape from dinosaurs. Maybe him being a former worker and he quit because one of his friends or colleagues died in an experimentation stage, and it was someone in his family's birthday, and he came back and he didn't want to go, but then everything went down, and I don't know. I think that would be good, but it probably cost $70 million just to put him in a movie.
That's actually a really, really good choice. Mike, what do you think?
This is gonna sound really funny, but I would at least want to see one funny scene because in Jurassic Park 1, I thought the death with the big fat guy was really funny. So to give homage to that, I would pick Jim Carrey to get killed by a dinosaur, make something funny out of that, and I would use Hugh Jackman as like a T-Rex trainer or something. That's what I'd do. So
that's another good pick too, Mike. What do you think, Jurassic World?
I'm not big on actors, but just looking at some of the past actors that were up for the role in the original Jurassic Park film, I was just looking at Harrison Ford. He would be pretty cool to see in there, like maybe running from a dinosaur, just being the dad of some kids trying to hide from the dinosaurs or something like that. I don't know. Just that's someone I'd like to see.
Awesome. Wesley?
I actually like your Michael C. Hall character because I could see him pulling some ruggedness off, kind of like maybe somebody else was saying Chris Evans. I can see that, but like Chris Pratt, he's got that rugged look to him. I think Michael C. Hall can pull that off. He's more. In the picture, there was a picture that leaked right before it was like a teaser trailer, and then it had the Jurassic World logo, zoom in and out, and it had like a guy, and it had all the dinosaurs behind him. It was like a cartoonish picture, and it looked to me like Michael C. Hall-ish, in the face. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I think he'd be a pretty good pick. And I think they should put something funny in there also, to be honest, because Dennis Nedry did have his comic relief because he was in Seinfeld and all that. So I think somebody funny in there would be, pretty cool. But I don't know who exactly. Jim Carrey probably would be a good pick. But I forgot to answer this though earlier. If somebody did die off in the movie, I think one of the kids should go missing and be presumed dead, and everybody thinks he's dead, and then he comes out of nowhere, I don't know, and saves the day in the moment. Maybe runs the gyrosphere into a raptor or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that one.
Awesome, good picks. Haza?
Oh yeah, if I could have any actor, I would have Kevin Spacey, because he gives a solid performance in almost every movie he does. He's one of my favorite actors. I love all his films, and I can really see him just playing a kind of like really a bad guy, but you don't see him as a bad guy. He's someone who's just hiding in the background and then does some things to make chaos, and then I could see him as like an Ian Malcolm character who's bad, causes chaos, but he's smart and intelligent, but causes chaos for the worst. I could see him as a really bad guy, so yeah.
Good picks, man. Everyone had really good choices. So I would just like to thank all of my guests for being in this. It's more of a discussion than a podcast, but again, we have Hagala, we have Magix Joker, we have Darth, we have Shawn, we have Jurassic World, we have Mike G, and we have Wesley. And thank you guys so much for being in the discussion. Is there any final thoughts?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
In Colin we trust.
Agreed.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
I got a question. Do
Okay.
we think there's going to be a post-credit scene?
Okay, real quick, we gotta answer this because I gotta go. Last question. Do I think that there will be... I'm gonna say no, just because I don't believe we've had one in the Jurassic Park franchise before. I could be wrong on that, although I don't think that we have had one, and I really don't see them going off track for something like that. What do you think, Darth?
I wish there would be one, but probably in reality we probably won't get one. So if we got one, I'd love to see like maybe it lead into the next movie or something. But that's just my thoughts on it.
Magix Joker?
To be honest, if we do get a end credit scene, it'll be interesting if they fly over to Isla Sorna. And there's like a park getting built on Isla Sorna now. That'll be quite interesting.
What do you think, Shawn?
I keep telling myself in my head that it's going to zoom in on the TV with the news breaking of the destruction at Jurassic World, and it's going to zoom out, and you're going to see Jeff Goldblum sitting there with his family, and then he walks away saying, like, these people will never learn, and then it just goes back. And that's about it.
Cool. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know if I could topple the last one, so I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
what do you
guys.
think, Jurassic World? And we gotta hurry.
If they do, I don't think they will, but if that would be really cool to see an end credit scene. But yeah, it might hint it. If they do, it might hint at the next film. Yeah.
What do you think, Wesley?
I don't think it needs one, to be honest. I think it could. I think he's that type of director where he's gonna have a start and a finish, and if there's another one, he'll just pick it back up where he left off. But if he did have something, I would like to see. I don't know, some more of the old park and something else they missed. But other than that, I'm happy how it is.
Haza?
Yeah, realistically, I don't think there will be an end credit scene at all. I hope there is, but I'm like nearly 100% sure there won't be.
Okay, so thank you to everyone who's been in the discussion. We will definitely be doing more of these on the channel. Sorry, I had to cut it a little bit short. I had something come up. But thank you guys once again. We have Hagala, Magix Joker, Darth, Shawn, Jurassic World, Mike G, and Wesley. Thank you guys so much for being in the discussion. And leave your thoughts in the comments on all the questions that were asked. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and have a great day.